I mean, every anniversary for our family is really important, and we don't necessarily sort of mark time by the anniversary years, but I think to imagine how old Ross would have been at this age and how much he might have done with his life, and how much time has passed for my family without him, I think is what really hits home. Yeah, it's hard to imagine. I think that it's been 30 years. And I think for me, I was born the year after Ross died. I was born in 97, so, you know, it's a bit of a different experience for me because I never knew him. So I felt that what I can do now for him is to talk more about gun control and gun violence and raise awareness around that issue at such a milestone moment to make sure that people my age remember Dunblane and the strong regulations that were fought for. It was a very profound moment in the history of the town, and in many ways it's defined Dunblane, and I imagine because no one ever thought that something like that would happen there, but of course it can happen anywhere. For me, it's a tricky one because I have such good memories of my childhood and growing up in Dunblane and what it was like to be a child there, and I'm aware that that's very different to that of my family and the experience that they had. And as I say, they moved there in the autumn of 95, just in time for Ross to go to school, and then 6 months later he was gone. So they really, I think it's very hard for them. I know, for my mum in some ways, she feels like they sort of brought him there to die, which of course is not at all the case, but those are the kinds of things you think as a parent when something like that happens to your child. Everyone that I've ever spoken to about Ross, of course, everything I know is through stories and photographs and home videos, and but everyone says that he was such a fun-loving, outgoing, chatty boy. He really loved to talk to people. He was very good at it, and he could talk to people of any ages. The achievements that were made with gun legislation through the Snowdrop campaign and since are so meaningful and massively important. But in terms of the loss of the child and the family member, that's not something that ever goes away. And I think it's a wound that's there for forever. And life continues, but you don't ever stop thinking about your child. You don't ever move on from your child.